Hi everyone, my name is Miss Metz, and I'm going to be your teacher this summer for language arts. So, I want to start by introducing myself because I may have met some of you. I've been at the Lemoyne Center before. I helped out with the Spanish program, if any of you were involved in that. But just a little bit about myself so you can get to know me a little bit. So I just graduated from Washington and Jefferson College, which is right down the road from the Lemoyne Center, so you've probably seen it before. And now I'm a certified teacher, so I am able to teach elementary school and special education, which is why I'm able to help out with this program that you're doing this summer. Few other things about me: I can speak Spanish. I've been to a couple Spanish-speaking countries, and I got to teach English there. I really like swimming. I was on the swim team for all of my childhood and 2 years of college. I like riding bikes a lot. I also like hiking. That's another hobby that I've recently taken up. So anything outdoors I like. Exercising, that's what I like most. And I also really like hanging out in my hammock. So that's a few things about me. I'm really excited to work with all of you this summer, and I'm hoping that we'll have the opportunity to communicate a little bit more, because I know it's challenging with just online learning and you not knowing me that well. So I'm going to try to get to know all of you in any way that I can, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to reach out to me if you have questions, or at least someone else at the Lemoyne Center so they can forward your questions on to me. Okay, so to get started, we are only going to be reviewing concepts that you learned in school. So I want to start off really basic. We're going to start with letter sounds, short words, and you may have heard this term before, words that are consonant, vowel, consonant. So first, I want you to think about what the vowels are in the alphabet. So take a second and say them out loud to yourself. Okay, so now that you've thought about the vowels, you may have remembered from what you learned in school this year, A, E, I, O, and U are our vowels that we'll be talking about. So when I talk about words that are consonant, vowel, consonant, that's a 3-letter word. It's going to start with a letter that's not a vowel. The second letter will be a vowel, and the last letter is not a vowel. So think about what a consonant is. You may have heard that word before, you may have not. You know what vowels are. I want you to think about what a consonant would be. And think about a word like dog. That could be an example of words we're talking about. Okay, so a consonant is any letter that is not a vowel. So an example of a consonant, like with the word dog, would be D and G. Those are our consonants. Another example, cat, our consonants are C and T. So a little bit of background on that. I'm sure a lot of you remember that, remember the alphabet. You learned that in kindergarten for sure. But what's challenging is that all of us are in a different place, especially after doing online learning. So I want you to refresh yourself on this a little bit. It might be a review, which is completely fine. I just want you to take the time to do it and put your best effort forward. Okay, so we have 2 worksheets that you should have in your resource bag. I know they might be backwards on the camera, but they look like this. So I am going to do my best with holding these up and showing you, because unfortunately I do not have a projector or a document camera to show you on, but we're just going to follow along. So have your worksheets out. I want you to have a pencil, anything that you can write with. So go ahead and write your name. We're going to start with this one that says beginning sound match. So write your name on that one. And I want you to look at the letters that are at the bottom. So, like I said, this might be very basic for you. We're just going to start with this. We're going to get more advanced as we go throughout the weeks, since we're together for 6 weeks. So, as you're looking at those letters at the bottom, I want you to say out loud to yourself the sound of the first letter. So here's our first letter. What is that sound? You can walk yourself through the alphabet, anything you need to say the sound of that letter. And what is this letter? What is the name of it? So the sound that this letter makes is eh, and it is letter E. Okay. So if you didn't get that one correct, walk through the alphabet and think about the letters that come before it, what comes after it, can help you put it in your mind. Our next letter, what sound does that make? Right here. And what letter is it? So this letter makes the f sound, and it is the letter F. So in the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F. There's our E and our F. What sound does this letter make, and what letter is it? So the sound that this letter makes is K, and it is a C, A, B, C. So remember to keep saying these sounds out loud so that you can get them to stick in your mind. What sound does this letter make, and what letter is it? Here's a hint. So that sound is ah, octopus. And the letter is O. What sound does this letter make, and what letter is it? So the sound for that letter is T, and it is a T. And then lastly, what sound does this letter make, and what letter is it? So the sound that letter makes is H, and it is an H. So if you need to, before we move on, especially my kindergartners, I know this might be new to you. If we're going too fast, you can pause my video, slow down, take your time. But if you're moving along with me, I want you to keep going. So go at your own pace. Do not feel pressured to keep up with my video. So I want you to go back through and say those sounds to yourself for the letters to get them back in your mind if you may have forgotten. And then we're going to take a look at our pictures up here. We have these 6 pictures, and I'm going to be doing the worksheet on my own too. I want you to follow along on yours. So, what is our first picture? I want you to say the word to yourself, and if you can, try to spell it out loud too. So I'll give you a little bit of time for each one to think about it yourself. So our word for that one, the picture is a cat. So sound out cat for me on your own. Okay, so when we sound that one out, we say k, a, t. So that would be C-A-T, and then I want you to think about what our beginning sound would be from the bottom. And once you know it, you don't have to cut out the bottom unless you want to. You want to pause and do that to make it a little bit more fun for yourself. I just want you to write the letter in the box. So I will go just like this. I know it's backwards, but write a C right in that box. That's all you got to do. And then let's go to the right of that one. We have another picture there to the right of the cat. What is that picture? I want you to say the word and sound it out. Okay, so that word is fan. And when we sound that one out, we say f-an. So I wrote my F right there, fan. Next one below, what do we have there on the left, right below the cat? What do we think that is? Take a second, sound out that word, spell it if you can. So we have a tree. I want you to sound it out. T-er-e. And what is the beginning sound? So we have a T at the beginning there on tree. Let's go to the right of that. That is a what? A house. And how do we sound out house? Do it yourself. House. House. So you may notice too that some of these words are not the consonant vowel consonant. Like house has more letters than 3. We're just focused on the beginning sound here. So that's all we're worried about, is that it has the sound at the beginning of the word. Like cat and fan were good examples of the consonant vowel consonant words. Okay, 2 more. So we're on the bottom left, right under the tree. What is that? That is kind of a big word, an octopus. So all I want you to think about is the beginning sound. What's the beginning sound on that word? Ah. Ah is the beginning sound. So what letter do you think that is from the bottom? It is O. O makes the ah sound. Very good. And our last one, we have an elephant. So what is the beginning sound of elephant? Our beginning sound would be eh, which is made by the last letter that we have left, which is an E. So I want you to review that. You can take a few seconds after you watch the video to just look back over. Like I said, I know some of this may be very easy for some of you, but it's just to review before we get into reading and more advanced topics. So you can save this to color later if you want. For right now, I want you to get this page out, and we're going to take a look at this one next. Go ahead. It's the one that says write my sound. You can put your name on the top of that one. Even though we're not in school, good practice to write your name on the top of the page so you don't forget. And here we're going to focus on the words that I talked about at the beginning, where we have a vowel in the middle of the word. So again, I want you to say what the vowels are that we talked about at the beginning. Go ahead and say those to yourself. Okay. A, E, I, O, U are our vowels. And you can see some of them here on this page. Like we have the A on the first one, the I here. So we see that we're using our vowels in the middle of the words. And what I want you to do here is I'm going to give you a little bit of time to go ahead and start on this yourself. And if you want to stay back and follow along with me, same as the last worksheet, work at your own pace. So if you want to pause this, take some time to do it. I don't want you to feel rushed. We're going to work through it together. You can work ahead any pace that you need to go at to do what you need to do. So we're looking at all our consonant vowel consonant words here, and the picture definitely helps you to figure out what it is. So if you want to follow along with me, we're going to go through and look at all the pictures and see what they are. And for the first week, I would recommend that you follow along if you feel you need to, because this is what we're going to build off of for the rest of the time. So it's going to get a little bit harder each week. So let's start by looking at the first picture and go ahead and say out loud what that picture is. So that is a bat. And I want you, if you know the sound and the letter, don't just write it in. You can go ahead and write it in. And then I want you to sound it out. As you're sounding this word out, I want you to tap. It can be on your hand, on a table, whatever you have around you. And I want you to tap out the separate sounds. So I'll do the example first, and then I want you to do it after me. So we have b, a, t, bat. So go ahead and do that yourself. Good. Make sure you're tapping out each individual sound. That is really going to help you when it comes time to figuring out how to spell words, especially if you're taking the time to sound out each sound in the word rather than just spelling the word. Very good. So we're going to do each of them like that, and we're going to go to the right on the page. So we did our first one. I want us to go look at this one, and that is a number that we all should know. So that is number 10. And like we did on the last one, if you know the letter, go ahead and write it in. If not, you're going to tap out the sounds and figure out the letter after. So the word is 10. N. 10. So we had the t sound at the beginning, so we have a T at the beginning of 10. Next, we have a what? Some of us may have this as a pet at home. We have a dog. So if you know the letter, go ahead and write it in. If not, we're going to tap it out together. So we have D, A, G. Go ahead and tap that one out. Good. Dog. And that has the D sound at the beginning, which is a D. Okay, our next row. So here's what my worksheet looks like. I have the letters filled in there. We're going to go right down here. So that is a what? It's a part of our face that I'm pointing to. It is a lip. So go ahead and write the letter if you know. And then we'll tap it out. L, E, P, lip. And that has the L sound at the beginning, so that is what letter? Letter L. Very nice. What is our next picture? Something that you use in the kitchen when you're cooking. You could bang these together on the 4th of July when there's fireworks. It is a pot. So let's tap it out together. P, A, T, pot. So that has what sound at the beginning? The P sound. Very nice. So write our P in there. And then our picture that is next is something you wear on your head. It is a hat. So let's tap it out together. A, T, hat. Very good. What letter is at the beginning there? What sound? If we have what letter? The letter H. Now I want you to take a minute, do the last 3 on the bottom, and we will review them. So I'm going to take a second and sound mine out. Write my letters in. I want you to do the same on your own. So we have a map. That would be app. At. G. So make sure you're tapping out those sounds, sounding out each word. I know it seems very simple, but it will help you in the long run get much better at spelling. Okay, so if you're still not done yet, I want you to go ahead and pause my video, finish up, and then come back and join me. If you are done, keep going, keep the video playing. We're going to tap out the words right now. So our first one is a map, and we sound that out, a, p. So our first letter is what? It is M, and that makes the sound. Our next picture is a net, and I tap that out, net. And the first sound is And then our last picture, this one, I kind of had two answers because first I put mug, like a mug you would drink coffee out of, and then I put jug because I figured it could be like a big jug of water. So either one is fine. I'll take either answer. So you can sound out both if you'd like. You have g, or you would have g. So if we're thinking about mug, that starts with the sound, which is an M. And if you put jug, that starts with the j sound, which is a J. So you should have all of your answers filled in. This is what mine looks like. I know it's a little backwards on there. So there's all your answers. Like with the last worksheet, if you want to save that one and color it in, you're welcome to do that. Could give you something to do while you're at home. And what we're going to do is just a quick review, and then I'm sure you've heard about how you're going to have a question on each video that you have to answer in the comment section. So I'll give you that question at the end. You can go back as many times as you need to and re-watch that question if you can't remember it, and you write your answer in the comments. Once you do that, that counts as you participating, and that is recorded. So that is like your attendance. It's like you being in class for the day. So you must answer that question in the comments so we know that you were here, watched my video, and participated in the lesson with me. So our review is that we learned our vowels today. We reviewed those, which are A, E, I, O, and U. So I want you to keep those in your head. That's going to be something I want you to write in the comments. And then we also talked about just sounding out each word and all the individual sounds in that word. So like on our first page, we had tree, and we sound out t, e, and we sound out the different sounds in that word, not just saying tree and writing the letter T. And we talked about words that have the consonant, vowel, and consonant like we did here, where it's 3 letters and the middle letter is a vowel. So that helps us figure out maybe how to spell that word. Gives us a hint. So the main thing I want you to take away from today is that you need to constantly review your vowels, review your alphabet, know how to sound out words like we did today. Something you should always be practicing because that's going to help you when you get to 1st grade and 2nd grade and you're learning how to read. So that's something that we're really going to focus on, along with reading stories and building on what we learned today. So what I want you to do in the comment section is, number 1, I want you to list all of your vowels. So I just told you the vowels. I want you to write them in the comment section down there. Just write them, and you can put a comma between each letter, just a space. I just want all of the vowels there. That's the first thing. Second thing, I want you to spell 2 words that we learned today. So those can be words from here. I want you to spell those. You only have to pick 2. Or you can spell words from here. I want you to spell, so you're going to type out 2 of them in the comment section. So quick review of what you're going to put down there. Your vowels, all of them, and then spell 2 words that we learned today. And they can be from our worksheet, or they can be other words that you know of that you sound out. Short words, consonant, vowel, consonant. So both of those things down here, like I said, you can go back and watch the video again. Take as much time as you need. I don't want you to rush through it. Just do your best. And next week, we're going to do a little bit more practice with sounding out words and maybe even something with reading a story or 2. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your week and your classes, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone next week. Bye.